Hello everyone. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Face, card making space, unpaid intern, sitting in the corner. We're live, unscripted, unfiltered. And as usual, I need to get my brain back into live mode because it always stops the second the countdown ends. What else is new? So yes, and to fellow Star Wars fans, may the 4th be with you. Can't help myself. Card today isn't going to be Star Wars related at all. I don't really have anything Star Wars related, but
that would be pretty cool if there was.
there's stuff out there. They just you got to work around their IP.
Yeah, the copyright stuff.
They are heavily copyrighted, so hence me not really having anything. But you could do like galaxy themed stuff. If I haven't done a galaxy background in, I honestly can't remember the last time I did one. Should have thought ahead and done that today, but I already have today's card planned. I am not changing gears right now. So, hello to everyone that is tuning in. And yeah, it's super windy here and it's just, it gives me a headache. Yeah, it's super hot here. I'm funny, Valencia, you got Kathy Z to do Splatter. Actually, it's the other way around, as crazy as that sounds. I know, right? I know. But Kathy Zielski is the person that got me into using the fan brush. I know, right? She is much more conservative with her splatter. That works for her. It's fine. I did get her to get the black gouache, though, so I take full responsibility for that. She fully blames me. I don't care. But yeah, her clean and simple style, it works. And she's very demure with her splatter. Just little tappy tappies. And it works for her. You guys know. And I'm probably going to do a couple types of splatter and just make a huge old mess. Because that's what we do. So, anywho. Okay, it seems like everything is working. Yes. Yeah, no, I did. Yeah. Kathy got me on. It was Kathy, and before really pushing me into it, it was actually Debbie Hughes. She makes beautiful cards. She doesn't do videos anymore, which breaks my heart, but people's lives take different turns, all the things. She still makes beautiful cards. She just doesn't do videos for them. And it's worth, though, and I'll show you guys. Because when people always ask when I mention Debbie, because she goes by, I think she still goes by Lime Doodle Design on YouTube. Is it Debbie Hughes? No, her channel name is just Debbie Hughes. Her. There you go. So, if you look her up on YouTube, it's worth going through her back catalog. She hasn't posted a video in, goodness, I think her last video was, 3 years ago. Makes me sad. But yeah, it's worth going back through her back catalog and just so many neat techniques. And I gotta put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Just remember that. I take so much inspiration from her content. And yeah, the way she would do watercolor and then mix in the splatter with it, because she would either do a background or image or die cut, whatever. And then she would add splatter to it in so many different ways, whether it was a watercolor or white or whatever. She's the one that really got me into splatter, the white gouache, because that's what she used all the time, the Winsor & Newton white gouache, which I've shown my rolled up little tube of. Top tier. So between her and then, Kathy Zielski, blame those two for me being a complete splatter fanatic. Did you say nutter? Yeah. I was going to say nutter. Stop it. I like it. Whatever, man. And yeah. And it's not for everyone. It's fine. Those that don't enjoy it, it's fine. My thing is, I honestly, I kind of just chuckle when people leave passive aggressive comments of all things splatter. And it's if you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to do it. I do those that are curious about it. You're a little splatter curious. Try it out. It's fun. It is fun. It's intimidating. It really is, because it's oh, what if I wreck it? It's just paper. Experiment. Try it out. I was, you know, a little bit about it, and now you guys see I use it on almost every single card. It also helps. The reason why I like it so much, because it's like, oh, if I mess up a bit, like if I smear something or I get a fingerprint or whatever, you know, you mess it up, throw some splatter on, you won't see it. That's why I love it so much. So it all works. Okay, so that's the randomness for the moment. I have, like I said, plans, sort of. Let's just switch the camera down while I'm yapping at everyone. So I pulled out oldies but goodies and some of the new mixing old and new, like I always do. So this has been out for a while. This is the Divine Peony wafer die. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and I love it. So I pulled that out, and then I pulled out sentiment set. I used this just the other day. The With Thanks sentiment set. I'm planning on, like, I have plans, as you can see. I kind of have a rough layout. And then another favorite, this was from the new release. This is the Petal Tipped Labels wafer die. This one very much reminds me, and I couldn't pinpoint it when I used it the first time. Spellbinders had a set, and I think it was also called, I think it was Labels 4. I'm like going back like 15 plus years. I still might have that set in a bin somewhere. It got discontinued literally probably well over a decade ago. But I remember that being one of my first like fancy, you know, layering die set, and I used it over and over and over and over again. So I think this just triggered that memory, and I'm going to use it because I love it. Got that. We got my little etched dragonfly, because of course we got to use the little dragonfly. That's the plan anyway, with some shimmery vellum, and then this lattice stencil, which I've already used before. I love it. Delicate lattice for my background. I think we're going to do the background first. I'm actually thinking I'm going to stencil directly onto the card base. I was going to do it all on like separate layers, but let's just try it and see what happens. And then we'll get into the actual blooms, because we're going to watercolor them. It's going to be easy. Anyone can do it. Trust me. Trust me. I sort of know what I'm talking about. Sometimes. Not always. So, just sometimes. So yeah. And no, not making a shaker. Not today. I'm not in the mood. So yeah. We're going to do things. You could make this a shaker if you wanted to go the effort. Honestly, y'all, I just don't want to. I'm just not at all in the mood. So here's my card base. Your typical A2, like this will be when it's folded, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Thank you, Zon. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Okay, so typical card base, and we're gonna like. Normally, I don't go directly on the card base. I get asked that every once in a while. Like, why do you do separate panels? Like, why not directly on the card? Most of the time, the reason I don't do directly on the card is because I make a huge mess. So, you know, once I get the back of the panel messed up, I can glue it on and no one sees it. But today we're going to be adventurous. Let's just see. Let's just see what happens. So, let me get out one of my little grip mats. Use a grip mat. We've got our card base, because I'm going to stencil the card front and the inside, of course. Method to the madness, which also means I need to sort of tape this card base closed for now, so it's not popping up all the time and getting in my way. And then we'll take our stencil and stick it on top. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect either. Like, we're going to splatter it. Of course we are. We're going to splatter it. Okay. So, we got that. And then I'm going to do kind of bluey color, greeny color. We'll see. We'll see. I have colors sort of picked out. I just got to figure out what I'm doing. And I don't know why I went on such a long thing about cleaning brushes or my lack thereof and my plans. Like, what was that, 2-3 weeks ago? Have I done it? Nope. Am I gonna? Probably not. Who's got time for any of that? So, yeah. Instead, what I always do with my blending brushes is I just rub them really good on a microfiber cloth and then move on about my day. I just don't worry about it that much. Okay. There we go. Okay. There we go. Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay. So, let's see how the random ideas translate translate to that card. Got those two. Oh, scrap. That's what I was going to grab. The other thing I do, because I talked about this, because I don't wash my brushes ever, I'm not too concerned about the colors being like exact, you know, but those times that I am, you know, if I'm doing a certain like blend, you know, an ombre or whatever, scrap cardstock. I rub it really good on a microfiber cloth, and then I just ink up the brush. And then before taking the project, I just take it to some scrap paper, you know, and see what I've got going on there. Because sometimes you might think you've got most of the ink off with the cloth, but the minute you add fresh ink, it'll activate whatever is still there, if that makes sense. So I'll do that, which, like I said, I'm not too concerned. This background is going to be just color, and then we'll add splatter and all the things like we do. So, yeah. Anyway. And I got to re-ink this ink pad. I'll get to that. Add that to the list of things I need to do. So, I've got Dew. It's upside down. Positively saturated ink. And Cabbage. For now. Because I'm thinking. Again, brain don't work good when it's windy out, and it gives me headaches, and it's not fun. I might bring in, as crazy as it sounds, but it will make sense once we get, you know, the card actually done. I might bring in some orange. I know. And some brown. So we got orange brush and brown brush. There we go. Okay. So, pull up sleeves. Let's just commit. So we'll start and add some of the blue. And as usual, I technically don't need to worry about the center at all because that's going to get covered up. So add some blue. Let's add some green. And they can go together because they will just blend into a nice whatever. And like pull it in further. And then the scary color, the orange, because this is like a really intense color, this terracotta, I'm going to go in really light-handed with this. Like tap it off on my scrap paper there. And I'm going to bring in just a little bit. Not a lot. Just a smidge. That's enough. That's enough. The brown I can bring in a little bit more, but same thing. It's a very deep color. Because that's MOCHA. Is that what I grabbed? Yeah, MOCHA. So we'll just add a little bit in there. Bring some in there. Let them sort of meld around and do their thing. And just kind of go over everything with it because I just don't care. It's not going to matter. So we got a background. Looks crazy. We're still going to add splatter. See that Simon has the intense black ink back on their website. Do they? Ooh, search. I apologize. I had told you guys like what 2 weeks ago that I was going to email and look into that. Still haven't done it. Ooh, I got like ink before I need to make sure I don't have like ink all over my mat. If you just type in, yes, Simon Intense.
Sorry, computer's slow.
Everything's being slow today. And we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Okay. Make sure I don't have a bunch of like ink where it doesn't need to be, because we're just going to go like that. Take my little trusty piece of Post-it tape. Like so.
Pure Arts ink pad, Intense Black?
Nope, that's Pure Arts. It's the Simon brand one. Just search Simon Intense. If you would listen to me. Now I need to see. I like flipped over my stencil. I don't know what side has color on it. So now I need to clean off my stencil because I don't know which side has ink on it. I can't even tell. I can't tell. I got distracted.
Doesn't seem like it's here.
Oh, it's not on there. It's not on there unless it's, who knows? We're having like tech issues at the moment. Okay. But yeah, it doesn't come up. Okay. Anywho, where's my... I can't... Oh, there. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. Ignore me. I'm just going to clean off my stencil. And then... Yeah, I haven't had a chance to figure out what's going on with Simon's Intense Black ink. But again, that Rainbow Splash Black, which I used in a video a couple weeks ago, the Rainbow Splash Black ink works great with alcohol markers. I used it. No qualms with that one. Yeah, there's a lot going on with manufacturing and all the stuff. So, yeah, changes. Not fun. Not fun at all. Okay. So, I'm not really adding much ink to my brushes because on the insides of the cards, I don't want as intense color because you want to be able to write over it, you know, and do your thing. So I'm barely like, I'm tapping the brush, whatever's kind of in the lid sort of a situation here. Just a little doop doop, that sort of a thing. And then just whatever is still on the brush. That way it keeps things a lot more muted for the inside of the card. And I will especially do that with the orange, because I don't want super bright, vibrant nothing on the insides. And then the brown, whatever's left on the brush, kind of just go like that. And then that will add pattern to the inside. There we go. Okay, so we have that for now. We can tape this guy closed because, like I said, I want to add some splatter to this. So I want to add probably some of the brown, not the orange, maybe the green. We'll see. No promises. Definitely the blue and some of the brown, because why not? So we'll just take that. I'll just use my fan brush for this. Why not? And then to keep, move these out of the way, everything somewhat kosher, I can just take this. I could leave it on the grip mat, but it's not necessary. I do that sometimes if I've got like a bunch of little like die cut pieces I'm adding splatter to. I'll just throw this whole thing right in the splat box, but wasn't necessary. So we've got that. I can add that. And in fact, I've got a darker shade, Mist, because that's what I was planning on using with some of the water coloring. So I got that. We can take trusty little fan brush, get that wet, and add some of that to the background. as we do. So got that. Splatter number 1.
Splatter number 1.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I like that. So we got that. And then let's kind of clean up my mess. Here we go. Everything is still working. Yes, everything is working. Okay. Wipe that off. And then we will add some brown. So that's just the MOCHA. Same thing. Add some water. And then add a bit of splatter. Good enough. Okay. So that's the background. Now we can go on to the meat and potatoes of the card.
Oh, yeah. Potatoes.
Yep. Oh, I'm making a mess. Just what else is new? What else is new? Okay. Set that aside. Get that out of the way. Now, what I need is my sticky mat. Actually, I still need this because I'm going to use that as well. So I got my sticky mat. And I've talked about this. The reason I'll choose... Oh, I can't have that there. I can put it over there. The reason I'll choose this over like a grip mat, the only difference between two is this is clear photopolymer. The sticky mats have actual adhesive on them, just a very low tack adhesive. And when I'm dealing with a bunch of die cuts and watercolor, a lot of times I prefer using this. Either one works, honestly. Either one works. It just depends on personal preference. This time with the die cuts that I'm using, really, I could just use my grip mat because these aren't very small. It's usually when I'm dealing with a lot of small die cuts that I want to like watercolor that I will choose this over the grip mat. But again, whatever floats your boat. So then I can just stick my die cut pieces, and I die cut these from watercolor paper. So I die cut the pieces from watercolor paper. I'm only using... Where did I put the packaging for this? I'm only using the pieces for the big bloom and then this leaf piece and then like the flower centers. I'm not using like the branch and the bud. I'm not using that for this card. That's not what I want. I just wanted these pieces. So I got those like that. And then I've got my little die cut flower centers. So we got those, and then yes, Lorraine. When we click on the affiliate link, not that entire cart, and then we add additional items while at the site, not via the link, do you get kickback on the entire purchase? Yes, I do. It's basically seen as my link brought you to the store. And it doesn't matter what you put in your cart. Even if you click on like the link for this, you clicked on that link and then you don't even put this in your cart. You put in 5 other items and you check out. I will still get credit for the order because it was my link that brought you there. So yeah, you don't have to, because I've had people ask, and because you know it's time consuming, the thought of like you want, you know, all these different items. You do not need to click on each, you know. I do provide links to literally everything whenever possible, only because convenience for everyone. And 2, I always get asked, the link I forget to add is the one I always get asked about. But yeah, you don't have to click on every link. Okay. Oh, that's what I meant to get. Yeah. How do you clean the sticky mat? This, as you can tell, it is very stained. I rinse it under the sink. Just warm water. Do not scrub the sticky mat. If you scrub it or use like regular soap, you will like remove the adhesive. So I just take it without die cuts on it, hold it in the kitchen sink, rinse it, and whatever ink that's sitting on there will rinse off. It's obviously very stained. Don't care. And then it's good to go. That's it. And I let it air dry. I just prop it up in my little stencil drying rack and I let it air dry. And I basically do the same thing with the grip mat. I either wipe it, like with this, I can wipe it. But when it's really inked up, I just rinse it under the sink. Do not let either of these, don't soak them. They don't need to soak. The photopolymer will ruin over time because it'll start absorbing that water. So you don't need to soak it. You just can rinse it. And same thing, let it air dry. It's fine. This you can use gentle soap on. A little bit of gentle dish soap, whatever. But same thing. Do not soak them. And then air dry it. It's good to go. With this one, rinse it. Brutus Monroe does make a cleaner specific for it because he makes these for Simon Says Stamp. There is a cleaner. I do have it. I've never used it. I don't know why. I ordered it to try out, but like I said, I don't waste my time cleaning things. I have enough to do. So yeah, rinse it, let it air dry. We're good. Your grip mat is so clean. Not really. It's you can kind of see here. See, it's getting stained. I have many grip mats. They do get stained over time. Like I've got one that's in its package. It's turning like dark pinky orange, whatever. Yeah. They'll stain over time. Photopolymer stains. Talked about that a lot. It's just what happens. And the grip mats, especially over time, the color will seep in and build up. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Die cuts. Watercolor. Nothing scary. Anyone can do this. I mean it. So for my blooms, this is why I had that terracotta color out. I want to use those 3 colors. So I've got some Zest. And then I've got the terracotta. And then watermelon. So we'll use that. Now let's just start with that. Where's my brushes? I need a brush. That would help. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Got my brushes. There we go. Doodly doodly. Okay, I think I got everything. Thank you for your info on the grip mats. I need to do a video, like a dedicated video to that. Trust me, it's on my to-do list along with 5 million other things. I will eventually get to it. I don't know when. I honestly don't know when. It's just I have a list literally longer than my arm of like video things I need to do or a million things. It never ends. Legit. I need an assistant. Like a full-time one. Because the unpaid intern, there's a reason we call him the unpaid intern. Because, yeah, I can't afford him. Okay. So, watercolor brushes. For something like this, it honestly doesn't matter what type of brush you use. And I say that because when you start really getting into watercolor, the brush can play a difference. It does. But that is something you learn over time. You know, there's a difference in the brushes and how they hold water and yada, yada, yada. With something like this, it does not matter. Any brush will work. You can use El Cheapo brushes, whatever. I've really been loving. These are the Altenew. It comes in a set. I bought this set over a year ago. I forget how long ago. I really like these. But any brush will work. It does not matter. Because we're just going to slap color on. That's it. So, I got some water. I don't want this cloth. I want a different cloth. And a cloth just to wipe up my brush in between colors. You could use paper towel as well. It again does not matter. And then we can zoom in a bit actually so you guys can see what I'm doing. Boop. There we go. So, we can do There we go. I'm going to tilt this to make it a little easier. So these are the 3 layers for my little bloom. I'm just going to slap water on, like so, and then start dropping color in. So I'll mix in, and I'm going to mix them together. So I'm using the terracotta and the watermelon. And then I'll quickly rinse my brush off, pick up some of the yellow, and apply that more on like the tips. And again, just kind of let it like do its thing. And I'm just like literally slapping the brush. Just doop, doop, doop. Rinse off, grab some more. That's it. That's it. That's all you got to do. So you just keep repeating. Get it wet with water. Can drop in the color. Add some more. Let them mix. Let them get to know each other. You know. Can add some more. And you can see I'm not being precious about it. I'm not being particular, really, which can get very nerve-wracking. You know, I understand it. Trust me. I understand. But yeah, when it comes to mucking around with watercolor and it being intimidating, try it with die cuts. Because yeah, no skill. Question. I've noticed you normally use inks to watercolor the dyes. What might be your next choice to use watercolor? You could use full, like actual watercolors. I was gonna do that today, but I like playing with my inks. But you can use actual like watercolors, tubes or pans. Those work too. I just haven't done it in a while, but I've got a bunch of videos using just straight up watercolor palettes and things to color my die cuts. Sky's the limit, honestly. Yeah. And then if you really like take watercolor out of the equation, you could use paint. You could use acrylic paint. You could use gouache. You could use whatever. You know, that's kind of the beauty of die cuts is you could skip the coloring altogether and just die cut it from color cardstock. You know, it just depends on what look you're going for, what you wanna do. I don't have a favorite when it comes to like what method because it literally just depends on my mood, you know. But you could do whatever. And yes, these were die cut from watercolor paper. You definitely don't want to like muck around with this. You can try it. You know, again, it's just paper. You could try it with like regular cardstock, but depending on how much water you're adding and the cardstock itself, um the cardstock could start to pill and start to shred apart or just curl and just get really really icky looking, but you could always try it. Um yeah. Yeah. Okay. Colored cardstock, that's no fun. It can be fun. I like it depends on the look I'm going for. Sometimes just straight up colored cardstock die cuts looks fabulous, especially when the dies have the like piercing detail. You know, these aren't just solid pieces. But then the other thing I like doing is doing color cardstock and then just ink blending, you know, to intensify and create that depth and whatever. And then of course splatter. It just depends. It depends on the look we're going for and my mood and like all the different aspects of things, you know? It's it's fun. And that's what you guys see me do quite often with, you know, me reusing the same sets over and over again. It's like I'll do them in every iteration. It's like this one's just solid cardstock, this one's pattern paper, this one's watercolor. The next time it's ink blending, like all the fun things that you can do. So, yeah, sky's the limit. Sky is the limit. So I've already like used up that yellow. Let's add a bit more so we can do the second bloom and then get into the greenery. I think I picked up some color from this because I haven't cleaned my mat. It's one of the reasons why you should, but it's fine. Stop laughing at me.
Never.
Never. Yeah. So yeah, we just. You want to go shut that door?
Yeah.
We left it open.
I remember it was open.
Yeah.
Quiet.
So we drop in the color, let it do its thing. Okay. There we go. Yes, Marianne. Watercolor paper. Watercolor paper. Okay. So, I'm like getting distracted. Oh, there we go. Slap on the water. Add in the color. Go in with some of the orange. And just let them sort of do their thing and blend together. I want some more of this watermelon because I used that up too. So we can smush some of that onto there. And then go in with more of that. Add a bit more here. But yeah, this is definitely something that you just got to play with. Watercolor is one of those things where you need to practice. Like you got to play with it. You always need to. Because until you start getting more familiar with it and, whatever medium you're using, whether it's inks or actual, watercolors or what have you, you got to play with it, get a feel for it, see what works and doesn't work. And then the more comfortable you get with it, the more fun you can have with it. And also, it'll look like a hot mess until I start layering everything together. So, okay. What was I doing? Oh, I need a bit more yellow. Smush that on there. Okay. So last layer of my peony here. So slap on the water. And then I can go in with my color. And then I can go in with some of this orange. Just to mix it up a bit. And then bring in the yellow. And you just let them mix and do whatever it is they want to do. Because that's the other thing with watercolors. You start to learn how to let go and not have as much control. And as someone who has like OCD and control issues, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So we got that. Just simple. Simple, simple, simple. Okay. So then, flower centers. That's why I brought up the MOCHA. I was like, I'm getting distracted. Okay. A little bit of MOCHA. Flower centers, I'm not going to bother with any like color mixing. I'm literally just pick up some MOCHA, slap it on there, and let it dry. And then for the greenery, I'm going to move my palette around. I have some darker shades because I had used Cabbage and Dew on my background. So I'm going in with the darker shades, which is Artichoke. In fact, I'm probably going to bring it even darker than that. I've got Artichoke, some Mist. Yeah, I want a darker green. I need Kale. Not to be confused with actual kale. Yeah, gross. I hate kale. I think it's disgusting. Blech. Gross.
Bacon salad.
The only time I liked kale, was that kale in that smoothie mix we used to get?
Yeah, that was.
Yes, Costco used to sell it. And even that kind of stuff, I'm a little bit like, really, do you need pre-bagged, frozen veggies and fruit for smoothie mixes? But Costco had this like random mix, and yeah, it had like chunks of kale in it, and we blended it. It was so good. It's the only way you're gonna get kale into me because I think it's disgusting. Blech. Gross.
Butter can make anything taste good.
Even with butter, I'm just not a fan of kale. I don't like that texture. But yeah, when it was blended up in those smoothies, it was really good. And then Costco stopped selling them, but whatever. We get, big old bags of frozen fruit from there. Smoothies are our jam, man. Okay. And smoothies are a good way to use up when the fruit's starting to go bad. Throw them in a smoothie. Okay. So I've got artichoke, kale, and mist. Full my greenery. And we're just going to do the exact same thing. You make it look so easy. I get practice. Seriously. It just takes a while. And I've talked about this before, whether you're doing this or you're doing like a background or a stamped image you're painting, whatever. If you're getting to a point that you're starting to get frustrated and it's like it's not doing what you want, or you think it looks like absolute hot garbage, I was going to say a different phrase that is not advertiser friendly. Walk away. Go do something else. Come back to it later. Like that whole concept of like fresh eyes. It's true. Because there have been times where I'm just like, oh, this looks like literal hot garbage. What am I doing? I walk away. Go do something else. I come back and it's like, oh, it doesn't look like that bad at all. So yeah. Massaged kale is the best. I'm no. If I have to massage my vegetables, nope. Nope. I know, like I've had friends in the past that they're just like, oh yeah, and like different, and they massage it and they do all these things, and I'm sure it's amazing. I don't care.
I don't even get a massage. Why is it?
Yeah, exactly. I don't even get massages. Like I need them. I'm a stress mess. But anyway, I am not going to massage my kale. I've heard that though, because kale is just it's a weird thing. It is, and here we are talking about food. Are we surprised? No. If you're surprised and you're new here, hi. My live streams, we talk about food. It just happens. Food and snacks are our life, literally. Anyway. And yes, I can see the chat. I'm not ignoring that conversation. I'm just, honestly, y'all, I'm just not really in the mood when it comes to the tariffs. That is wrecking havoc on our entire industry. I genuinely am not sure if I'm going to have a job by the end of this year, to put it bluntly. We don't know. I don't know what's happening. The brands are trying to figure things out, and it's not good. Leaving it at that for now, because it is unbelievably stressful, and things are not cool. And yeah, they're figuring it out. These are small businesses owned by little individuals, and not fun. Not fun. Back to the watercolor. 2 greens, and then to like add sort of an unexpected pop, and yet I do this quite often. I really like adding sort of a blue or an aqua sort of color. Just it gives a little something to the greenery, you know. I've mentioned this when it comes to greenery, because a lot of us love florals. We love our greenery. They can pry those out of my cold dead hands. I love my large florals. But when you're doing greenery, you always want to use different shades of green for different types. I'm not going to get like, do I ever get like specific, like this genus of flowers? I don't care. Don't know and don't care. When it comes to greenery, you need to like mix it up, have fun with it. And you look at it in nature, all the different colors of leaves, grass, yada, 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 And yeah, greens and blues play really nicely depending on the time of year or what I'm going for. Sometimes adding a bit of brown, In fact, we can just do that right now. Add a little bit of brown to this, Just just mush it up in there. It just works. And that's actually another one of my favorite things to do when fall starts rolling around, which I'm very glad that that's a ways off. I'm very much looking forward to full on spring here. Yeah, all the colors, you know. Do do do. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are, yep, things are not looking the greatest with a lot of things. It is frustrating, it's heartbreaking, it's the level of stress, you know? Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep mucking around with the greenery. So, add water, and then we start adding some color, like so. Like so. And then we'll add in the kale shade. And just like I was doing with the flower petals, you just kind of let them blend and get to know each other. Just like that. And then I bring in that mist shade and let it do its thing. And then a little bit of brown, because why not? Just a bit. Not a ton. It's another reason why I loved watching Debbie Hughes content, which if people have tuned in like later, I showed it early in this live Debbie Hughes channel. The way she mixes neutrals. She's very much a more muted color palette person. And I've gotten a lot of inspiration from that. Just the way she uses color. Because me, I go very bright and vibrant more often than not. But yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's in the mid-20s. Oh yeah, like even though I'm like waiting for spring, I it's like we skip spring altogether. It's like summer temps outside.
Yep.
Here, which okay. Anyway, we'll still watch you crafting with items you already have. I think that'd be a great series. Yeah, that's fine. I am still gonna keep doing what I do. When I say it, like I don't know if I'll have a job, literally, because if I'm just using stuff that I already have, what I make in AdSense on YouTube, nowhere even close to paying the bills, not even remotely. Yeah, this is why I always give disclaimers about the affiliate links and everything else. That's a big chunk of my bread and butter. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. We're just going to see. We're taking everything day by day. And it just is what it is. I don't plan on going anywhere. I plan on still continuing to do videos, and we'll pivot and figure things out as needed. And we literally will just see what happens. Okay. Have you used the newer Pink Fresh glue gun? I have no idea. I didn't know that they had one. I don't work with a lot of Pink Fresh products. They make gorgeous products. But yeah, I don't really work with them much, so I don't see a lot of what they're releasing. I haven't really been, even though again I do this as a job, I'm on social media, etc., etc. I haven't been on social media a whole lot. It's like I hop on, share what I share, and then go off to do 5 million other things. So I haven't been keeping up with a lot of the new and exciting things, because there's still some new and exciting stuff coming down the gauntlet. So, why did the dye company in the U.S. shut down? I don't know. I've heard a couple rumors, but they're not for me to share. I definitely know it was not because of lack of business. The one dye company in the U.S., they had a wait list longer than both of my arms combined, and then some. They couldn't keep up with demand. But yeah, they shut down really suddenly a couple months ago and left everybody in the lurch. They were the only manufacturer in all of North America. So they went under, and all the brands that were working with them have been scrambling to make it work. And no, because that I see that pop up a lot is like, well, the like crafty brands should get together and open up their own manufacturing facility or reopen the current one. Yeah, they don't got money like that, honeys. Like, unless you got, I'm not even kidding, tens of millions probably to set up an entire manufacturing plant of that size. If you're going to set it up from scratch, we're looking into probably high nine, like in the mid nine figures, like 100 million, possibly. Like, we are a small niche industry. This is, yeah. There's not simple answers, sadly, to any of it. And there's a lot of upheaval. A lot of upheaval, a lot of uncertainty, and just a lot of stress. Watercoloring. Okay, now I'm missing like so many. Oh, and if you're meaning if you're referring to this, I have an entire dedicated video on this. This is the Misty brand, My Sweet Petunia. Precision glue press. I have a video, a dedicated review that I posted over a year ago of this, and I use it in all my videos. I'm using it today. It's linked. Yeah. So I got that. This needs to dry anyway, so I've got a minute here. Darn, I didn't know the point. Oh yeah, it did. Yeah. It's not fun. It is not fun. And then yes, because things get manufactured. It is what it is. There was something else I was going to get to. Watercoloring with the not Pearson. You mean Peerless watercolor papers? Search my channel. I have an entire playlist. They were really big in the crafting industry, and then they kind of disappeared because I think we all just got obsessed with other products. I still have my Peerless watercolor papers. It's another thing on my to-do list to ask Simon Says Stamp if they will bring in the Peerless again, because they're fun. And yeah, but if you search my channel, I have a playlist of the videos I've done. There's maybe a dozen. I'm not sure. They're old. It's been a few years. Okay. So we got that. And then I want to add, do I want to add some splatter to these? Kind of. I think I'll just wait because I want to add like white splatter. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to set this aside because this I'll just rinse under the sink when I'm done. It saves me from having to wipe up a big old mess. And then, doodly-doo. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I love it. I love the glue press. For me, it's been a game changer. I have like issues like borderline carpal tunnel and arthritic issues. So I was finding that I was getting, like, I was in a lot of pain using the little glue bottle that everyone likes to use. Those, like, squeezing that, even though it's soft. Where is mine? I don't even know where mine went. I moved them somewhere because I don't use them. They hurt. So this, for me and my hands, game changer. Again, I did a whole review on it. I'm not gonna repeat myself because it's literally the exact thing. It's in the video. So I got my pieces. They're not fully dry, but they're dry enough. Got all my pieces. take them off here. This will also, this time I am going to, I'll rinse this off in the sink because I've got obviously a lot of ink on it. So I'll rinse this off in the sink and then I'll prop it up, let it air dry, and it'll be good to go. Add that to the pile of things I need to deal with. So we got all our little pieces. We just need to assemble them, which glue for that. And mine managed to clog. I had unclogged it right before we went live. Mine clogs all the time. I never put the lid on it. I don't care. Like, all my glues. I have yet to come across a glue or a bottle, no matter what they claim. Like, oh, I have literally had like the other bottles that have like a pin in them. I have had the pin fused to the container and never come out again. Like, it just happens. It is what it is. I don't really care. Okay. Anywho, this one is still wet. I'm going to give these a gentle blast with my heat tool just to make sure they are fully dry. Because I need my heat tool anyway because we got to heat emboss the sentiment. Let's hope this works. Yeah, we're good. Okay. There we go. So just on a low setting, just to make sure these are like crispy dry. Yeah, Angela, with something like the Peerless watercolors, with Simon Says Sam, if there is enough demand, they will look into like bringing back a product or getting a product in that they never had before. If there's enough demand for it, yeah. It was kind of one of those things that it was super popular for a bit in card making, and then it just we all just kind of forgot about it. Try not to lose all the pieces. Get them back. Everything's flying all over the place. Oh, Chris.
The kids outside?
Yep. If you can go deal with that, please. And I will adhere my flowers together. So, these are super, super simple to assemble. Do I want to do it that way? I don't think it really honestly doesn't matter which way you do it with these. And then a little dab of glue. And then just like that. And then another dab of glue. There we go. Final dab of glue. And the flower center. Just like so. So we got that. Belinda, Peerless is not a paper. Okay. I don't know if I can even show them because I'm not sure if I can get at them. They're in a drawer underneath my desk. Give me 1 second. Oh, good Lord. I don't even know. I'm still here. Oh, I found snacks. There's a cinnamon red hot. I was wondering where that went. Anyway. Oh, here we go. Ha. Okay. I'm probably going to regret. Oh, yeah. That's going to be a mess. I needed to clean it up anyway. Okay. Detour. Don't need that. I can't even eat that anyway with these braces. Anywho. Okay. Talking about my chair is now caught on things. Okay. So, this is what is being talked about in the chat. These are Peerless watercolors. They are, and again, you can search. In fact, I can do it faster than the unpaid intern, I bet. You would be going to my channel and searching for the playlist. But I can probably get to it faster than he can. And I will post it in the chat. Peerless Watercolors. Content. Playlist. Peerless. There we go. Get shareable link. And post it in the chat. Way faster than him. Okay, so I posted it in the chat. These are Peerless Watercolors. They look like this. It comes in a little book, like the basic edition like this, and then there's other ones of like smaller pieces, and it looks like this. And then there are a whole bunch of colors in here. All sorts of colors. And instead, I'm not going to show the yellow one because yellow on camera likes to be a bum. So these are, and like they're very interesting. So it's called, one side of these films is tinted to show the shade of the color. So this is actually like that color. And then the idea is you can either just pick it up with a brush and paint, or you can cut little pieces and stick it in a little pool of water and it'll tint it. And I'll show that just for funsies. Why not? So that's yellow. Let's do this color. This is Japonica Scarlet. So all you do, here's a brush. I need a piece of, I'm just going to use this little like die cut piece of watercolor paper. So I've got a wet brush, and you do not, with they're fun. So you just need a little bit. So I barely touched it. There you go. And you can watercolor with them. That's what they are. So they're fun. They're a lot of fun. I was very obsessed with them. I've kept them in a dry spot. I keep them in a drawer underneath, away from everything. And yeah, a pack like this. I don't know what the price is anymore on these. Again, I got these, gosh, 15 years. I'm not even sure. However old my oldest video is in that playlist. I have no idea. I now need to look. Edit this playlist. Videos. Was the first one 10 years ago? Huh. Yeah, almost. 2017. Nope. 2014. Yeah, it's been over 10 years. Yeah, the very first video in the playlist I linked has a full product review of these. So if you want to listen to the younger version of me, knock yourself out. So yeah, they're fun. And I haven't used them in 17, I think was my last. 2017 was the last video I did of these. So it's been many years, but they last a really long time. That wet spot, I didn't want to put it back with that. So you definitely don't want to handle these with like wet hands. You know, it can get messy. So that was the Peerless Watercolors. They're fun. Could have done this with those if I'd wanted to. So they're neat. Oh yeah, you can make like palettes out of them. I did all sorts of things. I have more. That set is one of several. And I've just kept them because they don't go bad, really. And they'll last a really long time. And they are fun. And yeah, they're cool. They're cool.
So cool.
Yeah, super cool. I have a thing for, I have all sorts of watercoloring mediums. And just like everything, do you need all the things? No. But specifically with watercolor, I have like a collection of like watercoloring. I have a lot of, like, the drawer underneath my desk has a ton and it's full. And I have other like tube watercolors and stuff. Options. I like options. So there's Peony number 2. There we go. It's kind of portable. Yes, I think the concept with those is just how portable it is. You know, you can take that with you and a little water brush and you're basically good to go. Okay, So we got this. Let me zoom out now. I don't need to be so zoomed in. There we go. Let's get that water out of the way so I don't knock it over, because that's just guaranteed to happen. That I need to keep. Okay, that can go there. That can go there. I can move my brushes so I don't get those in the way either. I have a mess going on here. Yeah. Oh, I don't mind the little detours at all. It's more just getting into some of my stuff or accessing it anyway. Okay. So I got some flowers. I got some greenery. I need to die cut this cardstock with this wafer die. This is the whatever it was called. I don't even remember now. My brain stopped, y'all. I'm like thinking about watercolors. I don't know. It's this wafer. Yeah, the petal tip labels. I don't remember the names of anything anymore. There we go. Okay, we're gonna die cut that. So that's going to frame up. I got schmutz on it. Doesn't really matter. I was gonna say I lost my card base, but I didn't. It's still here because that. Oh yeah, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. Okay, so what I need to do then? Don't need that wafer die now. Oh, I also need to add stencil to the pile of stuff I need to clean off. Good lord, it never ends. It never ends. Okay. Doodly doo. Thank you, Belinda. I appreciate it. I bought the Squoval dies and they're so yes, I have them. I haven't used them yet. I don't know why. I know why. I've been fixating on these ones, but in that release, which is not organized because I'm a mess. Yeah, these ones. Those are neat. That's a neat shape. Honestly, I was thinking of using these. I was like, these would be really cute. Like the smaller ones. Almost as like kind of a different shape of like as a speech. So you can see what I mean. Like as a speech bubble in a sense, you know, with some little characters, and then you could stamp your sentiment and then just kind of use that as a speech bubble. I thought that would be really cute too with these. It's a very unique shape for this set. So you can link that. This set. Unpaid intern. Squovals.
Can I just get that?
Yeah, you can take the number. Anyway, those are fun. I could have used that, but I really like this shape too. Anyway, so many things. Not enough time. Okay. There we go. So before I add, I want to add. Oh, we need to stamp a sentiment on the inside. I'm getting ahead of myself, but there's always a method to the madness. I want to put my sentiment on the inside before I start adding all the things. And for that, I'm going to use the set. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think I'm going to use that sentiment was the plan for the front of the card. Yeah, I thought that would look good for the front. And then... Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to put 4 years support on the inside because that makes sense because I'm going to send this to whoever wins it and I appreciate your guys' support. You know? Which we need this. We need to move that. So we'll just take that and then we'll stick the card base in there, and then we will line up our sentiment. Yep. And then I'll just stamp that with some black ink, which I can't even get at. Where's my black ink? There it is. Okay. we'll just stamp this with black ink onto the inside of the card. There we go. The inside is now done. And then there we go. Let's get that off of there. Get that out of the way. So I want to add some baker's twine because I haven't done that in a bit. So we need baker's twine and reverse tweezers for the win, as always. Here we go. We're going to take this. So that's going to go there. So I want my bow to be probably right there, roughly. So I'm just going to wrap this around. Give myself a little leeway. Wrap the baker's twine. Wrap it around a couple times. Like that. And scissors would always help. Okay. Just got it wrapped around. And then you start your knot. Like that. You start your knot. And then you use the reverse tweezers to hold the knot closed. So then that way I can concentrate on making my bow, which is basically a bunny ear. Wrap the twine around. Pull it through. And then without pulling anything super tight, I adjust my bow because you don't want to pull baker's twine tight until you're happy with it because it's twisted threads and it'll start to go like really wonky. So then I pull it tight, remove the tweezers, pull it tight again, and then one final, I use my thumb to like pinch the knot so I don't like just loosen the entire thing. Tap it, tell it it did a good job. And there we go. So we got a little baker's twine. Just like that. I'm going to pop that on with some Big Mama foam tape.
Oh yeah.
Need that Big Mama. Okay. And actually I'll stick this little bit of tape back just to hold him in place. So then we can put some Big Mama foam tape on the back of this to give it just a bit of extra dimension, not a lot. Where's my scissors? Okay. So, boop. Like that. And like that. Okay. Like that. So then we can stick this guy into place. Okay. So now, make sure the card base is straight. And then kind of center this guy and commit. Okay. So then now that we've got that, we need to get our flowers and our greenery. So we can kind of tuck these guys in. I might snip apart. I can cut apart these guys too. Why not? Why not? Stick that guy there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This works. This works. In fact, all I gotta do is take some washi tape, because I like where all the greenery already is. So rather than mess with it, let's just do that. If I just tape it with the washi tape, because once I adhere these on top, you're not going to be able to see said washi tape. Yes. Okay. And then a little extra bit of... Actually, let's use the Big Mama foam tape for this. Cut a few little pieces to adhere the flowers to give them a little bit of dimension as well, because why not? So we can just stick a piece. Yeah, one piece is good. One piece is fine. There we go. So stick that on there. And then, all right, I got that, got this. We'll take Big Mama tape off of there. And because this one's getting tucked under, just cut some of that off so that it doesn't overlap too much on the foam tape. And then that way, I can go like that. And like that. And we got that so far. Okay. We still need, do I want this last leaf? No, I don't. We're good. He's good. Everything is good. Everything's great. We need that splatter.
Oh, yeah.
More like official splatter.
Official splatter.
Official, because I don't know, the ink splatter didn't count. Whatever.
Today's splatter is brought to you by...
I know, right? Man, regardless of what happens with my job, if if a company wanted to sponsor the splatter portion of my videos, this is brought to you by General Motors. Not actually sponsored by them. Man, that would be nice. I wouldn't have to stress so much. But anyway. Okay. We're going to add official splatter. So, I'm going to do my white gouache. I appreciate you guys. I'm glad you guys enjoy the chaos and the random ideas that pop in my head. It's quite nice when they start to work. Okay, so I got some white gouache and my fan brush and some water. There we go. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about like why I choose gouache now over paint. Honestly, the biggest thing is gouache. Okay, I have time. When you have watercolor, water reactive, doesn't dry permanently within reason. And then you have acrylic paint. Acrylic paint is opaque, dries permanent, is what it is. Gouache is kind of in between those two. Gouache works kind of like a watercolor, but it's got more fillers in it, so it is more opaque. You can water it down quite a bit, and it's a little bit more transparent. It will never get as transparent as actual watercolor. But the nice thing with gouache is because it is water reactive, like if I let this fully dry, if I go off and do something, I can clean this up later. Whereas paint, you do not want to leave that like this. It would ruin my brush. We're done. So that's the main reason. They both work. They both work great. I showed my container of splattery goodness and all the different products I have, and I switch between them. Sometimes I'll use paint, like distress paint. I use that to splatter a lot too. It works great. But for now, we're using the gouache. So just add a nice healthy dose of that. Because I like it. That's why. Yep. Okay, so that was the white gouache. Because of course we're going to add black gouache as well. Because this needs some black splatter. So, wipe this up. I've got like, what is going on with my computer here? Everything should be good. Okay. Okay. So, white splatter and then black splatter. And this also, this is gouache. It can be cleaned up with water. The only thing, and I've talked about this is heavily, heavily pigmented. It will stain. Like all of this is stained and it's from this. Just FYI. Love this stuff. And I did what I said I was going to do. I can't remember if I mentioned this in the last live or not. I forget when I was talking about it, but about like, I went on that. Oh, that was a couple lives ago because I went on the whole rant about toothpaste tubes.
Oh, yeah.
One of my many rants. Anyway, after my whole rant and everything, I did clean up because I had this tube was an absolute mess and I like folded it up from the bottom and now it works better. Okay. Okay. We're good. Back to the mess. I'm going to be stained. Whatever. The black gouache, I use a much lighter hand. I don't add a whole lot of it. You don't need much of it. And then, there we go. Put the lid on. And then water this down. There we go. Now the black gouache, like I said, I go in with a much lighter hand with this. I do not like cover everything. Except maybe when we get to like Halloween cards. Then the black gouache can just like black splatter on everything. But yeah, I'm only going to add a bit. Not a lot. Just a smidge. Just because I can. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Okay. Go. So I got that. And then, like I said, immediately clean this up, not because it's permanent, but because it stains and I don't want to get my like elbow in it, you know? Because that's a thing that happens. So that's what we've got so far. We got splatter and ink, all the things. I'm now going to set that aside to dry because we need to heat emboss. Oh, don't let that. Okay, let that dry. And while it's drying, I can heat emboss my sentiment because I didn't do that before we started live because I forgot. So I just need to scrap a black cardstock. Perfect. In fact, yeah, no, this will work. Scrap a black cardstock. There we go. Question. I know likes and comments help with YouTube. Do chats matter to them? I have no idea.
Honestly, I don't think they do.
I don't think that like the live chat affects the algorithm at all. Potentially the amount of people watching, maybe, but lives are their own little thing. Yeah, on all my regular videos and even under the lives, for those that watch on the replay, everything else, leaving comments after a live or just on regular videos, that's what triggers the algorithm. Because yeah, I don't talk about this as much anymore. I don't know why. I used to. Like the robot overlords. I used to kind of joke about that in the end of my videos. As ridiculous as that sounds, it's true. Like my job is weird, and doing stuff like this, my life is run by stupid algorithms that I have no control over because I don't own these platforms, and they suck a lot. Like I have almost 95,000 subscribers. The vast majority of them either just don't watch my content, so I don't even know why they're subscribed, or they just don't see it. People come out of the woodwork so often and they're like, "I miss you. You haven't posted in so long." I was like, "Dude, I post videos multiple times a week. I go live every Sunday. Like, I'm here." You know? But the algorithm doesn't show them my content at all. It's so fun. I love it so much. It's stupid. It's really stupid. So that's what we talk about with liking and thumbs upping and subscribing. It's not about the numbers, you know. I know in a lot of ways, even though again I do this as a job, but even then, I try not to obsess over the numbers. I don't dive deep into my analytics and all that stuff. It's exhausting. It's frustrating and it's depressing. Because literally the first thing when I go on the back end of my channel, it'll be like, this video didn't perform as well as usual. And it like shows like thumbs down number, like all these like down arrows and da-da-da. And it's like, you know what? No. Nope. Not doing it. I don't like playing that game. I would rather just do what I do and make my cards and do my videos and chat with you guys and just hope that enough of it catches on that I can still pay the bills, So, yeah, it's just a very silly thing. And maybe they didn't click the bell button. That too, that thing's a hit and a miss. Yes, there's a bell icon below the videos on all videos. And if you click that, you're supposed to get a notification, when I post a new video or when I go live. Hit and a miss. Seriously. That thing is just, you guys think I'm ornery? Technology is worse. It's just, it is. So yeah, when all of us makers, when we're going on, anyone on YouTube, when it's like, comment, subscribe. Yeah. One, we want to build our channels, obviously, but yeah. And it's the same thing with social media and stuff. Like every post I make on like Instagram and Facebook for my job, every single one now, before I can officially post it, I get a pop-up from them wanting me to pay to promote it. And it's like, if you pay X amount of dollars, this many more people will see it. And it's like, no, I'm not made of money, man. Like, I am not a corporation. I am an individual person. I got bills to pay. So yeah, that's the way of things nowadays. It just is what it is. Okay. Black cardstock, anti-static powder. The only reason I use anti-static powder, it just helps to keep the embossing powder from clinging, where I don't want it. And then my stamp, clear embossing ink. The numbers game from the back end would make my head spin. Oh, I know. It really is. I try not to look at it too much. Again, even though I do this as a job. Because it gets depressing. Honestly. It's and I refuse to let an algorithm determine what I should post and what I should create, because nothing kills creative joy than like making something, really loving it, being super proud of it, and you put it out there in the world, and then the algorithm's like, boo, no one likes this. Piper, no. Anyone who gets that reference, thumbs up. Yeah, Piper, no. So I just try not to even look at it because it sucks. Anyway, stamped it with clear embossing ink. Then we're going to coat it with white embossing powder. Here we go. I'm glad you guys enjoy the lives. They are fun. I sweat. I'm sweating right now. Like, I have severe social anxiety, but sitting here talking to a camera, who'd have thunk? sitting here talking to a camera with another person in the room, that's an experience. Those first lives when he first started helping out, I was like, hi. I don't know what I'm doing. You feel like an idiot. You really do. Now, I've been doing this and he just, most of the time he's zoned out anyway. Sometimes he participates, but
I read the chat.
yeah, he helps moderate and do the thing. But yeah, we make it work. Anyway, okay. Doop. Now we got to melt it with the heat tool. See if I can show this on camera. Yep. Okay. There we go. So anyway, I very much appreciate those that are able to tune in. Those of you that like set aside the 2 p.m. time slot on your day to tune in. Blows my mind, if I'm being completely honest. Like, really? People want to show up? And then, yeah, those that watch on replay, because I know a lot, the time doesn't work, or you got a life, you got stuff to do. I appreciate all you too. And then the ones that tune into my regular videos, because the lives, same thing. They're not for everyone. I get that. I talk a lot. I talk with my hands. I get distracted. Is what it is, So there's a lot that just do not like the lives, will not watch them, everything, and that's fine too. I still put out plenty of regular videos that have been, edited and all that stuff. And I won't stop doing the regular videos because lives are, so far I haven't, it's rare that I can do like a bonus one or two during the week. Life. Anyway, I love the moment when the embossing powder melts. Yes, me too. It's my favorite, especially metallic. Metallic embossing powder, like gold embossing powder, when it melts, it's just like, ooh, shiny. That will never get old for me. Microfiber cloth, because the anti-static powder, it'll leave that like white cast, and you don't want that. That's not pretty. So my microfiber cloth with a little bit of elbow grease to buff away, and even sometimes I'll use my hand to buff it away. It doesn't need to be perfect, like that little bit, I don't care. And then we can just die cut this with the coordinating wafer die, which I need to find now because I lost it. It's here somewhere. There it is. Coordinating wafer die. So, I watch all your regular videos. I can pause and do, yeah. Well, and even with lives, you can pause them. Obviously, when I'm live, if you pause it, that's fine. You can do that. You can pause and rewind in a live as well. It just, the only thing that'll, like, you'll kind of miss out on the chat if you're, like, involved in the chat sort of a thing. But, yeah, you can do that too. It's great. Okay, what am I doing? Just stop it, Amy. I'm getting distracted. Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoy them. I enjoy doing them. I still sweat. More so the sweating is just like being on, and I also I have a very severe fear. A very severe fear that one of these days I'll just absolutely lose it and say something that'll get me canceled, I have a bad tendency of putting my foot in my mouth most days. Okay. Lining up the wafer die, and since we're live, let's just be safe. Where did my washi tape go? There it is. Let's tape it into place. Don't really need to tape it, but let's just be a little safe, Let's practice safe die cutting. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. Ooh. Run that through the die cut machine. Okay. You guys are great. I love it. Okay. Let's pop this guy. Ugh. Love. How amazed you can create and read the chat and respond. I am pretty good at multitasking. That's just sort of an art and sort of part of mental illness, honestly. It just is what it is. But yeah. I generally have like 15 things on the go at once. Ask the unpaid intern. It's just
15 is a little on the low side.
okay, maybe sometimes 50. It just is what it is. So yeah. Okay. I'm going to die cut another 1 or 2 layers to stick behind this to give that a bit more dimension. Do you use special lights when going live? My lights do not really generate heat, thankfully. Some of my old filming lights back in the day, oh yeah, the heat that those things used to generate was not fun. I couldn't imagine going live under those. No, I sweat because I'm live. I'm live. I'm stressed because of just everything. And then I'm always just stressed during a live. That literally, I'm just waiting for that moment. So, but we've been doing lives for what, 2 years now? I forget how long it's been. Haven't done it yet. Haven't said anything insanely inappropriate yet. It's only a matter of time. Okay. There we go. There we go. And then pop out those little bits so that I don't have to deal with that next time. Stick that there. Stick that there. Oop. And we got that one. Get rid of the little tiny pieces. So I've got my die cuts. I can get that out of the way. The card, which all of those are. Oh, you know what I should have done? See, this is why I can multitask. However, when I was die cutting, I should have been die cutting. Where did it go? Where did he go? Where is he? Hello. Where's my... There he is. Because of course we're going to add a dragonfly. There we go. There we go. What was I doing? Die cutting. You guys see? See, I'm so good at multitasking. I'm so good. Oh my god. Yeah, so great at it. Sometimes. Anyway, while I was doing the sentiment, I should have die cut the pieces, save myself the, extra 30 seconds or whatever for the dragonfly, which same old, used him a million times, love him. He's been out for years. The etched dragonfly wafer dies. Love him. He's beautiful. And then I'm using I'll pull out a full sheet. I've been using this a lot. The Simon Says Stamp Ice Vellum. Because it's shimmery. And we love shimmery. Like, hello, like, inner magpie. So, and I keep all the little bits, always, of every specialty, everything. So then I've got that for the wings. And then I can use what's left of this for the body. So that we can have a shimmery little dragonfly on our card. So I can just stick that there, stick that there, stick that guy right there, like that. Get him into place. Yep. And then die cut him. Okay. Here we go. You couldn't say anything that bad. Oh, you guys would be surprised. Anyway. Here we go. Crossing that Valley Girl voice. Yeah. Like, oh my god. Becky. Look at her butt. Why did Sir Mix-a-Lot pop in my head for that? Chris and I were rocking out to that the other day in the vehicle when we were going to get groceries and Sir Mix-a-Lot came on and we're both like, yep. Anyway. Yep. Good times, good times. Okay, he is just, there we go. There's his little wings. There's his little body. We love him. He's adorable. Okay. All right. method to the madness. So now we just need to assemble our little dragonfly and stack together. I don't know if I need 3 of these at least. Yeah, let's do 3. It's just habit. Okay. You should definitely include outtakes in your regular videos. Oh, no. One, the outtakes would be me saying very inappropriate things because I do swear like a trooper. I manage not to do it during lives. Shocking, I know. But when I'm just like filming, doing my regular day-to-day stuff, I was swearing like a trooper. And there's not much outtakes. Like I do have like make mistakes and stuff, like a lot, but there's nothing like entertaining to include in outtakes. And I delete all the footage once the video's up because that is another thing. The cost for like either cloud storage or hard drives that I would need if I wanted to save for the amount of videos I do and the content, astronomical. So I delete all the footage. It's, yeah. So anyway, I'll put a little bit of glue. And then I just glue their little wings right onto them. Just like that. And then I've got, see, he's so cute with his little vellum wings. This is why I love, oh, I shouldn't have done that while the glue was still wet. There we go. In fact, so I don't wreck him, let's use the reverse tweezers. There, he can sit and dry. Okay. I notice you don't use much glitter. I like glitter like you like splatter. I know, I don't use it much. However, we had a whole discussion in one of my lives recently about stickles because I've started using stickles again. I used to be obsessed with stickles. Obsessed. Like I had every single color known to man in the regular and the chunky, yada yada. And I started using the regular ones again. And then, yeah, diamond stickles. I ordered them. They're supposed to be here this week. So I'm getting back into using stickles to add a bit of glitter because I do love glitter. I go through phases with everything. You know, I will fixate on a certain technique, a certain color combo, certain products. I'll fixate on for a while and then I move on to something else because I am like the dog from Up and it's just like squirrel and I'm on to the next thing. So stickles and glitter are slowly kind of making their way back here and there. Here we go. So I'm going to stack these die cut sentiments together. There we go. So then that way, this just builds up a bit of dimension because especially like I love how this wafer die, like the coordinating wafer dies for the set, really like they get right in there. Like they cut in between the letters and all that stuff, which is great. I really do like that. The only issue is I am not going to fiddle to put foam tape or squares, like cut them up to put them behind this. I do not have that patience ever. Besides the fact it's just easier. I die cut the scrap, stick them together, and then move on about my day. And that's what I'm doing. Doop, doop, doop. Just like this. So we'll stick that on there. Like that. And then press that into place. Remove the glue goobers because you don't want those. Just like that. Still love my stickles and they've lasted years for me. Oh yeah, most of my bottles of stickles that I still have, I don't know what I did with the rest of them. They're probably in a bin somewhere because I know I didn't just like throw them out. Why would I throw out stickles? They're perfectly good and they for whatever reason stickles seems to last forever. Most things like, and I talk about this a lot, things like pastes, especially glitter pastes, those will dry out. Don't collect them. Use them. You know, get them and use them. Don't hoard them. But Stickles seems to be an exception, and Stickles are cheap. Like a bottle of Stickles is like $2.50 or whatever. Like it's cheap. Yeah, most of my bottles are so many years old, like 5 plus. Some of them are 10 years old, and they still work fine. Who'd have thunk? So, yeah, I do like Stickles a lot. So we got that. Gonna add him like this. Just a little bit of glue.
Just a little bit.
And then we'll stick him on right like that. So we got our little dragonfly. And then we will adhere. How do I want to do the sentiment? Just like that, I think. I will put one thin piece, just one. All my talk about like, I ain't got time or patience to cut down foam squares. I can add it right there. Just that little spot. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Cinder's Papercraft. Ooh, there we go. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Wink of Stella pens are fun too. Oh yeah, I like Wink of Stella. My preferred though is the Nouveau Aqua Shimmer. This is my preferred. Wink of Stella's clear. It has a gold shimmer to it. It's pretty. We'll never go up. But this one, the Nouveau Aqua Shimmer clear glitter gloss, is like clear glitter, which is a total misnomer, but it works with everything. I love this. I love this a lot. A lot. I have backups of these. They come in packs of 2. I have like 3 extra packs so that I never run out or won't run out for many years. Love them. Love them so much. So yeah, I do love glitter. Anything shimmery, glittery, goodness, love. Okay, back to what I was doing. Yes, I like this. I can take that little bit off of there. And then we'll put adhesive on the back of my sentiment. Just like this. Do. There we go. Okay. And then make sure that's straight. Gonna stick this right like that. There we go. And then I'll hold that for a second to let the glue like fuse. You're correct. I followed you for years and I thought you stopped. And today all of a sudden you popped up. Yeah, I didn't go nowhere. So if you want, I got a back catalog of since whatever point you didn't see a new video from me. There's potentially dozens, if not hundreds, of videos because I'm at well over 2,000 videos on YouTube. I post all the time. All the time. Okay. Yep. And since you guys were asking so nicely, I'll add unicorn stickles. Let's zoom in. We can zoom in so you can see the glittery goodness. We'll add just, if I can, there we go, get it open. I'll add some unicorn stickles to the flower centers. Just a bit. Did I clog it? Get out of there. This is why we keep pins. There we go. There we go. Yep. Oh, he's got like a chunk in him or something. Why are you being annoying? I never have an issue with clogging with stickles, but of course, the minute I go to use them live, there you go. Okay, we'll add just a bit to the flower centers. Why not? My little dragonfly, he can be glittery too. Let's just go insane and add glitter. Add it to the greenery. I'm not squeezing very much. One, also because this thing is, obviously there's a, you know what? Okay, move that, because don't do this over your project. Hopefully, like, oh, there we go. He'll be fine. There we go. So just little bits. Like that. I can add a bit here and there to the petals. Again, just really light amounts. You can technically add like a large amount of stickles and like build dimension with it. However, that'll take a long time to dry. Just if you do it, just plan to leave it out overnight, sort of a thing, to fully dry. But if you apply it thin, it'll dry pretty quickly, like usually like 20 minutes max. So if I just go in here and add, there we go, add little bits. There we go. You're welcome. So there's some stickles. You can add this to the list.
Stickles?
Unicorn stickles. Unicorn stickles. So add that. And then my last but not least little thing. So while he's adding that, and then you can also pick a winner. Oh yeah, you can add stickles to just about anything. Had to claw because you said they never do straight up ornery. Exactly. It's exactly it. Okay, so we got some shimmery bits, and then my last little bit of embellishment isn't shimmery. I pulled out the black Pawsitively Dazzling gems just to go with, because I've got the black twine, sentiment, and then the body, and this will just like pull it all in. So we'll add just a few, not a lot. So we can tuck in some of these amongst our layout here. So we can do like that. And I can stick a couple up here. Get it in place. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Okay. Let me adhere these because I have a tendency of lifting the card and falling. Everything falling off. Okay. I need... Bless you. So I'm going to adhere the gems into place with Craft Tacky glue. Like that. Like that. Like that. And then get a little dab of glue. Boop. And a little dab of glue. Just like so. Yep. And then that guy can just go like that. And this card is complete. Yes. I've got Kathy Zielski's boop dish. My friend Mari actually gave this to me. And it just makes me happy. And I showed it in a live, whenever it was, recently. And for it works nice as a nice little snack dish. I keep my snacks in it. However, since then, and then after that, I got braces. So now it doesn't hold snacks, and I use it just for bling, as was intended. But it does work for a nice little snack dish. Okay. So there is the finished card. And I saw the comment asking about the dimension. The funny thing is, this is deceptively dimensional. Let me get that tape out of there. Because I only put foam tape. Like I put Simon's Big Mama foam tape, which is not thick. Let me, if you're not. Okay. Simon's Big Mama foam tape. Huge, huge, huge roll. But the foam tape itself is very, very thin. This is 1/32 of an inch thickness. Average foam tape on the market is a 1/16 of an inch, so twice this thickness. And then the thicker foam tapes, like Altenew has, a lot of brands have it, is 1/8 of an inch, which is like what you would use for shaker cards, or if you just love dimension, it's a great option. I like this stuff because again, it's thin. It is ridiculously thin. So then I only put it under that layer, and then I have it under the flowers. The leaves are all just popped up because I only taped them down underneath all this. Like I didn't put any glue, and they curled up a little bit because I used like thinner watercolor paper. So this card is not, like, it looks like it's super thick, but I can't show because I gotta let the stickles dry. But like when I mail this will mail in a standard envelope. Anything with all my cards, because I got asked that. With all my cards, I take another piece of cardstock. I have cheap white cardstock, like just crap cardstock that I won't use for anything because it's literal garbage. I cut it down into A2 panels and I put a piece of that cardstock on top of the card before I stick it into the envelope. And that way it protects the card, as well as like, because any of the bumps made from embellishments and whatnot. So it gives it a little bit more smoothness so it can run through the sorting machines when it goes through the mail. So it's not super, it looks thick, but it's not actually, you know? And then we got sparkly bits and shimmery vellum, multiple types of splatter, because that's just what we do, you know? So this was fun.
Yeah.
This was fun. And we did the inside. And yeah, I just got to let the stickles fully dry, and then I can switch over. What was the tool that you used to lift the dot with? Oh, it was the embellishment wand. It's linked in the supplies. This is Simon's embellishment wand. So one end, it's got the little waxy bit, and then the one I use, because they have two different versions on their website, but this one that I have and that I link to has the waxy bit, and then this end is actually a little stylus, which I don't use very often, but Kathy Zielski showed the other day. What was she doing? Oh, with a stencil. That's what she was doing. When you have a stencil that has little, like, bits that kind of pop up, usually I just hold it with my finger and I'm, blending or whatever, but she was using this to hold it. And I was like, you're a genius. What the heck, Kathy? So I need to remember to use this end for that more often. But yeah, little embellishment wand. One of my most used tools. Okay. And Mary, everything is listed and linked in the description box below the video. It's pinned to the top of the chat. The stencil's is it just Lattice stencil? I think that's what it's called. Something like that. Delicate Lattice stencil. Oh, I had a stamp stuck to that packaging. Do not want to lose that. Okay. So we got all that. I'm going to switch over. There we go. There we go. All fabulous. Let me put this back so I don't lose it. Okay, do we have, I assume we have a winner.
You have a winner.
I've been yapping.
Yep. Today's winner is Rebecca H. from Colorado.
Rebecca in Colorado. Perfect. So I make no promises when I'll mail this out. I mailed out the last batch to the winners earlier last week. I always like take a selfie with the envelopes just to prove to people. I was like, I'm sending it out. So I don't know what the plans are yet for this week. I have a lot on my plate for this week. So I'm not sure if and when I'll leave my house, But yeah, I will get it mailed out eventually. I just don't know when. We'll get to it. So yeah, there it is. Okay. There we go. Yes. Okay. Just making sure. Great idea to use up substandard cardstock. Yeah, exactly. That's what I use the crappy cardstock for. Is panels to protect my card fronts before I mail them. It's a way to use it up because I don't want to throw it out, but it's like I won't use this stuff on my cards because it's just garbage. So, hooray. There we go. Yeah. Hopefully, I'll get it mailed out soon-ish. I will have plenty of videos coming this week, as always. But yeah, there's multiple releases back to back. I got a lot I need to get done, so I will have videos coming. I have one planned for tomorrow. Doodly-doo. Yeah, I have a video planned for tomorrow. Waffle Flowers may release. They've already posted many little sneak peeks and videos. You can hunt it out and check it out. You'll see exactly what I mean. It is good. It's a good one. But yeah, there's Waffle Flower. Altenew may release. Pretty Pink Posh hasn't. Oh, Pretty Pink Posh. Pretty Pink Posh has posted some sneak peeks as well. Ridiculously cute. So cute. So yeah, I got a lot to make and everything. Oh, does your waxy end get unsticky? Mine does not. However, they technically, let me move that guy out of the way a bit because I want that stickles dry. All the brands that sell these, most of them offer replacements. See, it just unscrews. And you can get a little pack that usually has like one or two of these little pieces. That said, I have never, ever needed to replace mine. I've used several over the years because brands have sent them to me. So I've got backups upon backups. However, I've never needed to replace this. The only thing that's ever happened is I've dropped it, or if it gets really warm. So if you live in a really warm climate, be a little, because it is wax. But if it gets a little misshapen, I just find that if I just go like this and just the heat from my hands and a little bit of patience, I can just kind of go like this and like reshape it a little bit. And if you find that it gets like, dust and yeah, it's not sticking, like it's not picking things up, I just wipe it with my finger, or you could just literally wipe it with a cloth, a baby wipe, whatever. And same thing, you can kind of reshape it, warm it up a little bit carefully. Don't use your heat tool. It's wax. It'll melt. It'll drip. You don't want that. But yeah, you can get little replacement tips. But I just go like that, and now it's fine. It'll pick up all my little bits.
Your boops and bits.
Yeah, I can stick them in there, pick them up. It works. So love these little tools. So there's that one. Are you teaching any classes this year? No.
Nice.
I have not. I do what I do here on YouTube, and nobody has asked me. Because that's usually like the brands, ask people to do those sorts of things. Nobody's asked me to do anything. So I plan on just keep doing my thing. And if a brand reaches out or, whoever asking, we'll see what happens. But as of right now, and most stuff from almost everyone is planned till the end of the year. Yeah. I ain't on the roster for anything. I use a crayon sharpener on my wax tips. I mean, if you want to, that's still a little. I know some people are really like for me being as heavy-handed as I am, I've just never needed to do that. But I've seen other makers at times, and they're using theirs, and it's like missing like a third of it, and I was like, well, how did you manage to do that? I'm really delicate with my like gems and stuff, though. I just am like all my little embellishments. So I've never needed to replace this. I have replacements, extra ends, and I've just never needed to ever, never needed to. Um, do do do. Okay, I appreciate Good for you. Let's see the teacher for online card classes. Yeah, not invited for that. Would you go on craft roulette? Probably if I was asked. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I ended up on the blacklist with that. If I'm just being honest. I think she had asked me a really long time ago, or I think she'd reached out to me like a long time ago, like years ago. And maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm almost positive. It's a hit and a miss when people reach out to me, like if they email me or message me, DM me, whatever. Um, I try to respond to everyone. I try to be on time. It really is a hit and miss because sometimes I have too much on my plate, or sometimes like people reach out to me and it's like I literally just don't see it. Like I don't get a notification, and I'll just like be going through some other things and then it's like, "Oh my gosh, there's a message from like a month ago that I just did not see." Cuz again, algorithms and all that crap. And with craft roulette, people have mentioned it in the chat a lot of times. Like, you should do craft roulette. I think she'd reached out and asked me, and I just never responded. I think, but I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. So who knows? Um, do. Oh, are you doing a live? Oh, Mother's Day is next Sunday.
Yes, it is.
I'm probably going to go live.
You have an ice cream date that day.
But we always go for ice cream after the lives.
Yeah. Ice cream date after the live.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably go live next Sunday. I forgot it was Mother's Day. I knew it was coming. Chris and I have he's mentioned it a couple times, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. Is what it is. Yeah, most likely I'll still go live on Sunday. We've gone live on Christmas Eve. We went live on Easter,
Yes.
We don't do the holidays within reason, or we celebrate at whatever random time. And yeah, our little local ice cream place, we thought it was this weekend, and then I checked. They're opening next weekend. So then we were like, because that's what we used to do last year. It's like I would go live on Sundays, and then we'd go for a walk afterwards and go get ice cream. So it's like, yeah, so that's what we're going to do on Mother's Day. I will go live at 2 p.m. Central, same old, same old. And then when the live is over, we're going to go get ice cream because it'll be good because they get good ice cream. I'm so excited. I'm excited. Do you think card making has slowed down? No. But with everything that is going on, our entire industry is going through it right now. Like, we are going to see a lot of shifts, a lot of changes. Several small brands have already gone out of business because of a lot of it, directly because of what's going on. I don't think it's necessarily slowed down. It's slowed down for those of us doing it as a job. I talked about this earlier in the live. For those of us doing it as a job, I honestly don't know what's going to happen. I genuinely do not know if I'm going to have an actual job by the end of this year. We'll see. Still planning on doing my thing though. But yeah, crafting, card making in general, no. I don't think it's slowed down. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think just it's going to change with this industry and everything. I don't know exactly how. I don't have answers. But people, we like crafting. We like doing what we do, So we're still going to keep doing it. That's yeah. Doodly doo. What is craft roulette? It's if you search it in YouTube, just search craft roulette. It's Mary Gunn, right? I think that's who started this whole thing. She does a live. I haven't even had a chance because I have so much on my plate. I'm speaking about where I know there's those of you in the chat could probably answer because you guys watch it regularly. I've never even actually watched an episode of it. I know of it. I'm lucky if I can keep up with Kathy Zielski's lives, even though she's the same time every Wednesday. It's like, I forget what day Wednesday is, Anyway, she goes live and she has a guest, and it's roulette. So it's like a wheel that she spins up, and it's like random prompts, and then you create live with her. based on the prompts. And I think it's really fun, and you're kind of creating under pressure in a sense, but it's all in good fun. And I think she's done a good thing. She's had a lot of people on there, and she's done this for years now. Because I think when she reached out to me, again, I'm not 100% positive that she did, but I think she did. And now I feel really bad because I think I ghosted her and didn't respond. I feel awful. So if she sees this, I'm really sorry. Didn't mean to do that. I think that's what happened. Or maybe she's never asked me because it's not like I'm that big of a deal. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's what they do. And I think it's a lot of fun. I think people would, it's worth checking out. So you can just search craft roulette on YouTube, and I'm sure it'll pop right up. Biggest problem with outsourcing to Chinese market. That is not why they're doing it. That has nothing. Okay. With products being made in China, a lot of the products that are made there, you cannot get made here. I'm not going to go really deep into this because I have to get a lot of other work done. The ripoffs isn't because they're being made there. The ripoffs, they steal the images directly from the websites. They scan them from there, and then they produce their own copies over there from what they steal from. That's why a lot of brands will have like really heavy watermarks all over their brand designs and stuff. And some brands have found kind of creative ways to the way they show. That's why a lot of them will show their products like on an angle instead of a straight on picture. It's on like the product is on an angle because it makes it harder to scan, because they literally just lift it from the website the minute the stuff goes live, and then they just steal those photos, they stick them up there, and then they make crap product. That's basically in a nutshell. There's more to it, but I'm not getting into that right now. 5 years for craft roulette. Yeah, that sounds about right, because she's like way up in like however many hundred craft roulettes she's done. She's done a lot of them. That's stressful. Having to make a card with parameters under pressure. Sometimes it can be. Honestly, though, I find that when there are parameters, like not a time constraint, yes. Doing things live with an audience, trust me, I get it. But things like, think of like a color combo, or a layout, and then combining them. I think a lot of times it's interesting. I enjoy challenges, doing color challenges or layout challenges or a theme. Like, if it's like, tell me, like, you want something made by, like, with a starry sky theme, it's like, okay, I can work with that. You know what I mean? It can be interesting, and it can a lot of times really get the creative juices flowing. Doodly doo. Okay.
Let me give my complimentary hand.
Oh, he's just been waiting. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Do you feel better?
No, you had to wait till you stop talking.
Oh, you had to wait till I stop talking? There'll just be a skeleton sitting in the corner.
Exactly.
Thanks to the unpaid intern, the disembodied hand, for helping.
Yep.
You could have just like told me to, that you wanted to do your wave like the queen.
I don't think telling you to be quiet is a great way to
you get something thrown at your head,
Yeah.
most likely a pair of scissors, because that's what's right in front of me.
You have so many scissors in front of you.
Gotta have lots of scissors.
You can take your pick.
Yes, different scissors for different things. That's also on my to-do list, is a video about scissors. If I was like, that seems like something people would want to know. I don't know. Anyway, okay. 265 craft roulette episodes. I don't know why I thought there was like 400. Maybe she's got 400 videos on her channel. I don't know. I just remember checking. Doodly doo. Yeah, you guys check it out. Those that are new to it and have never heard, go check it out. I think you guys would enjoy it if you've never looked into it. Because I know she has all sorts of different guests, and it pops up like people talking about it. Because I think Kathy Zielski's done it, and like a lot of makers. And they'll mention it, and so it'll pop up in my feed, and I'm always like, oh, I should tune in. And I still haven't done it. I literally need more hours in the day. Oh, yeah, I guess it's set up so that those that watch, you can create along with, and then you can submit your cards. That's fun too. Then that involves everybody. I love it. I love it. Okay. Um, and yes, support small businesses. I did a video on that, sort of, about a month ago. Just a Canadian's perspective. I touched on it briefly. Let's just put it at that. Let's just say I lost a chunk of subscribers as a result of it, and no regrets. I don't take back what I had to say in that video. It's my channel, it's my video. Even me saying what I'm saying right now, I'm sure is going to irritate people. Um, so yeah, I support the small crafty companies with the caveat. I say this with the caveat. Me talking about these things, me saying like support small brand, like support these brands. I'm very like I do this as a job. I'm not just a random hobbyist maker. You know, I do this as a job. I get paid to do what I do and to promote the things, yada yada. I do not take on always full disclosure. Nobody pays me to like, oh, you need to promote this. Like, will you take money to promote this? No, absolutely not. I don't work that way. And really, at least anyone I've just talked to or worked with in this industry with crafting and card making specifically, because other industries do their own shenanigans. Um, Craft companies don't push this kind of stuff. Like they send me product, you know, but I choose what I want to use. I choose what I want to promote. Nobody can tell me what to do. Full stop. That is how it is. So that we're on the same page, if that makes sense. So I say all this though because I acknowledge that I am biased. I come from a biased perspective because it's like if people don't support these small companies, if people don't use my affiliate links, like I am out of a job, you know. So there is that bias to it. Not you, Mary Douglas. No, Mary is the one who runs Craft Roulette. I think she did ask me a long, long time ago. I think I would literally have to. Oh, my email inbox. Again, any brand that works with me, they know I just trying to keep up with the emails. That alone, I need like a full-time assistant just to help me with my emails. It's a lot. It's hard to deal with. So yeah, I think that I think I might have ghosted her, but it was unintentional. Um, wasn't my intent. I tried to respond to any like specifically like crafty brands or people that reach out to me. I try to respond in a timely manner. Even random people when they message me about craft stuff or just whatever, I try to respond. It's just some days it's a lot. And then sometimes I just don't see them. I swear. It's like I joke about the gremlins and the poltergeist, and some days it's like where did this email come from? It wasn't here yesterday, you know, that sort of a thing. It's weird. It's weird. Anyway, um and yeah, you guys talking about these sorts of things, I'm literally I'm sweating. I'm sweating, okay? I got threats from that video, that one that I referenced about me discussing my stance. I received threats over it. Does that mean I'm going to stop and not speak my mind and not speak my truth, as silly as that sounds? Because when people are like, I need to speak my truth. Still, I'm not going to back down. And bullying me doesn't get anybody anywhere. In fact, anyone that tries to bully me, it just makes me more stubborn. But I addressed what I felt the need to address at the time. Specifically, it was about boycotting. And yeah, some people became very unhinged. Not very many, and not half the audience. As some of the threats that I received, one specifically that popped up was just like, have fun losing half your audience, you know, because people are now boycotting me for speaking my mind. Okay, it wasn't half. In fact, it was less than it was about 5%, something like that. Something like that. You know, again, I could go into the analytics and prove it, but I don't feel like it. So that just was what it was. Anyway, um, stand up for what you believe in, even if you're the only one standing. Exactly. Exactly. Um, Yeah. Anyway, no, I appreciate all of you just that just show up. You know, you whether you're showing up to my lives, obviously I'm talking to my live audience and the replay people, love you guys too. Um, I appreciate you guys that show up, that comment, and those that don't even comment. You know, I know there's a lot of people that just watch, you know, because you don't have to. I don't ever want people either to feel like when I talk about like thumbs up, comment, subscribe, because some people aren't comfortable, you know, publicly engaging, whether it's commenting or participating in chats, that kind of stuff. Don't ever feel like pressure, you know, a simple thumbs up, great. Or sharing it with a friend, whatever, that's great too. But just don't feel the pressure to do that, you know? It just is what it is. And I just appreciate those that show up and you guys enjoy my content. It's a weird feeling for me, you know, doing this. I've been doing this a long time, doing this a job. It will never not be weird because one, I can be sarcastic and I'm just like, I'm kind of a big doll. I'm not, you know? Um, so yeah, it's weird. Where am I going with this? I don't know, you guys. This is getting off the rails. I'm all over the place. It's it's one of those. It's like a Sally Fields moment. Like you really like me, you know? It's weird because you know I'm just not liked because I'm a big mouth. Shocker, and it is what it is. Um, doodly doo. And yeah. So all that, I appreciate all of you, and we will see where things go. As uncertain as things are, um, I know that the brand owners, the store owners behind the scenes, they are working tirelessly to figure things out, to navigate everything, the tariffs, all of it. It's a lot. Um, and they are trying to find ways to make things work. So I have faith in them, you know, because I know that they want to continue this, not only because it's their bread and butter. These are their jobs. These are their businesses, their careers, everything. Um, but yeah, they're figuring things out. And then the rest of us makers that do this as a job, whether it's like me, content creators, or you know, design team members, all these sorts of things, we will continue to navigate and figure things out as time goes on. And I have some hope. Sometimes, some days it feels really dark. And I'm just like, I don't know if I'll have a job. But I am being positive. And um yes. Anyway. And yeah. Other than me addressing like as my last reminder, and I said this in that other video that ruffled a few feathers, and I say a few. It was not near, literally, like the literal threats I got honestly, they were amusing more than anything. Um, the vast majority, still, of card makers, because I can't speak to other niches, but the vast majority of card makers are awesome people, really. That's why I still do what I do. Um, because I've poured blood, sweat, and tears into this job. I've been doing this for 20 years, and for the last 10 of them, I have been doing this as my full-time only source of income is this. And literal blood, sweat, and tears. And I will continue to do this. And I not only because I enjoy, like I love making cards. I love it. You know, that's never going to change for me. But I also love this community. You know, there's a lot of really, really good people. You know, you guys show up and say all these nice things, and we have fun, and we make silly inside jokes and all of that stuff. And and then other people, that's also what I love, and I always want to continue that, is when like new people show up, you know, they're greeted with open arms. You know, no judgment. It's like, you're welcome here. Everyone is welcome here. And the ones that choose to be, I'm trying to think of a good word to call. I can come up with many descriptive words. They're just all inappropriate. The ones that choose to be that way, heck no. You know? There's no need for it. And that is why I've always had a rule, and I will continue to enforce that rule, is like we don't discuss, technically, we do not discuss politics and religion on my social media. If people want to talk those things, you can go do that on your own page, set up your own YouTube channel. It's free, you know? You can do that. And donkeys. Yeah, that's what I used to call them. Thank you, Nora. I forgot. Yeah, donkeys. When people want to be donkeys, you know, if you want to start throwing threats at me, calling me names, all those things, one, rolls right off my back. I don't care. And I get to delete and block, you know? And at other times, I will screenshot and I will share that publicly. And the funny thing is it's very, very easy to find a person's real name. You know, if they try to hide behind anonymity, it's very easy to find those things and expose them. And sometimes that's needed. I haven't had to do that in a long time, though. Anyway, I just want to make sure, yeah, trolls. Sometimes they're trolls, but a lot of times it's more just people acting like donkeys. And there's just no need for it. And in card making, I especially find it extra distasteful when people choose to act that way, because there is just no need for it. And I had just in that other video where I addressed just my thoughts, there were a few that disagreed with me, but they were respectful about it. And I left those comments up. Like, they were just respectful, and they're like, I don't agree. And they said what they needed to say, but they were fine. It was fine. And I left it up. The ones that did not make the cut, they were like, the name calling and the threatening was just, why, you know? If you've got something to say, and if you have a belief or whatever, there's no need to be a donkey about it, you know? But yeah, are we all entitled to our opinion? Yes. Are we all entitled to platform our opinions on other people's social media? No. You can try it, but any person that owns the channel, the page, the whatever, they don't have to put up with it. So I'm going to leave it at that, because this can unravel very quickly. And my thoughts are just all over the place because I'm tired, have a little bit of a headache because of the wind, and I'm sweating because we're getting into some dicey territory here. So anyway, I do appreciate, though, sitting and chatting with you guys. And it just is what it is. But I will say that while I technically, for the most part, do not discuss politics, that does not overlap my stance on human rights, ever. Like, that one, I will rave and rant all day long over that. I will not tolerate any of that kind of crap. Because, yeah, my space here, it is open for everyone. Everyone is welcome here, you know? And if you choose to be a donkey, you get booted out. Simple as that. So, there was something else. But yeah. What is the temperature there? It's like, actually I can check right now. It's in the high 20s Celsius. We are Celsius in Canada. We are not Fahrenheit. So you can do your own conversion, because that's a Google. Oh, it's only 20 degrees. I thought it was hotter than that. It was supposed to be today, but it's not. So it's only 20 degrees Celsius, but it's windy. Ugh. Yesterday we hit 28 degrees Celsius, which is unheard of for May or early May. It was hot. It was gross. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate all of you, and we're gonna leave it at that because I could go on and on and on, but like I said 5 million times, I have 5 million other things I need to do. Plus, I need to take pictures. This is mostly dry. Oh yeah, it's dry now, so we can show that a little better. You can see the stickles, the pretty little stickles, and then yeah, for as dimensional as it is, like once I can use this, I guess, to kind of show. So when I talked about sticking a piece of cardstock over this, because, it looks very thick, but it's not. So if I stuck, a piece of card and to mail it, it becomes very, see how thin? Like it's not huge, thick, super dimensional. So I'm pretty sure when I go to mail this to the winner, yeah, it'll just require regular postage. Every once in a while, my card ends up being too heavy or too thick, and then I just add extra postage, And then, yeah, next week I get ice cream. It would have been great to be able to go today, especially after, I'm just, sweating and stressed. I was like, ah! Oh, the joys. But next week. So I will go live next Sunday as planned. We talked about that earlier. We were all over the place. I do plan on going live. I know it's Mother's Day, so a lot of people, you got plans. You're going to be having dinner with your families and all the things. That's awesome. I hope a lot have a great day. I know also that Mother's Day is hard for a lot of people for many reasons. I don't push that. I don't do series dedicated to it anymore or anything like that, because it is for a lot of people for a lot of reasons. It's a very hard day, and I get that. So if you want a distraction, I will still be live next Sunday as usual at 2 p.m. Central, and we'll make something. I have no idea. I don't plan that far ahead. I have no idea, but we will go live. And then when the live is over, Chris and I and the kids will probably go for a walk and get some ice cream, because that's just the best. And if the weather's crap, we will drive to get ice cream. I don't care. Oh my goodness. Anyway, yeah, further south, it's probably crazy warm. I am, for those that aren't aware, I am in Saskatchewan, kind of in the middle of it. So the frozen north, it doesn't get that warm here. We do get hot summers. It gets hot in the summer. It gets extremely cold in the winter. And I prefer it being a little bit cooler. I don't handle the heat very well. I melt and I die, and it's not fun. So yeah, grody. And okay, I appreciate all y'all. And yeah, hugs to those that the lead up to Mother's Day. Hugs to all y'all. That it's a hard day. I get it. I get it. So yeah, I'll be thinking about everyone, and I will have, I'm not sure how many videos coming this week, because again, guys, I fly by the seat of my pants. I am chaos incarnate. So I will have new, edited videos. I plan, one is supposed to come out tomorrow. At least 3, 4, possibly 5. We'll see. There might be a lot of videos. We'll see. We'll see. So I will do photos of this like I do the photos and the social medias and all the things, to tempt the algorithms. We talked about that earlier. And I got to clean up my mess. And then I will talk to you guys very soon. I'll either see you next week on Sunday or in my edited videos, and we'll just see what happens. So I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you all very soon in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!